Good morning, friends. First of all, I must thank Dr. Senthil for giving me this opportunity to speak on this very, very interesting topic. And I think it's a very relevant topic in today's world, getting our presence felt in the virtual world. We as doctors, when we are in medical college, nobody's actually ever bothered to teach us or inform us or educate us upon how to market ourselves. We've been given skills, but we're not told or trained how to market those skills. We've not been trained to do our work like an entrepreneur or like a businessman. And there is always a lacuna in all the doctors passing out into the market, that how do they market themselves. So I think in today's world, if a person is not marketing himself or having his presence felt in a virtual world, it's a losing race right from day one. So you can, if you have any queries, you can contact me on these given addresses, and I'll be happy to answer them. So starting my topic now, social media and its strategies, getting our presence felt in the virtual world. Now, what is a social network? A social network actually is a group of virtual communities of people who have a similar kind of a taste, similar kind of ideologies, similar kind of interest, or a similar kind of a query. Now, when this group of people get together on a platform and have their needs met, they start forming a networking or a virtual community. And these people form interactive relationships. There are social familiarities between them. They form organizations, and these organizations in today's world have a very, very powerful role in driving any business, ideology, politics, or development of ideas. So social media networking is a very, very powerful tool in today's world. Most of our generation probably takes the social media as a pure form of entertainment and waste of time. That is the most wrong you can ever get. Social media is far more than entertainment. It is a media now for creating awareness on social issues, interacting with your family members, spreading ideas, ideologies, marketing your products, promotion of protocols, and it is locating your friends, selling products, buying products, information highway. It is endless. The social media is an endless tool for anybody today to be relevant today's time. So anybody who's not jumped onto this bandwagon till now is out for making a loss. Now, what are the options available? How do you market yourself? You connect with your own audience at the right time, at the right place, and you are having to put the message, desired message across in the methodology which your audience or the customer understands the best. The biggest advantage with social media as compared to the other above the line medias like newspaper, radio, television is that this happens in real time. You can adapt in real time. You can modify. You can keep a tab on the pulse of your customer or your listener or your audience. You can see and map their engagements. You can see what they like, what they share. And then as you move along, you can keep sharing, evolving, adapting, and improving your strategies, which is not present in any one of conventional medias. So as I said, social media marketing is getting the right audience in real time and monitoring them. Now, what are the types of marketing available? Offline could be where you're not online. You could be using a newspaper, radio, camps, pamphlets, home-to-home campaign, even in-house marketing in your clinic. The subtle messaging which you keep in your clinic is also a part of in-clinic branding, but they have a very limited range of hitting your target. They are not carpet bombing, and even if they are carpet bombing, like newspaper and radio, it is a very, very non-specific carpet bombing and comes at a very high cost. But the worst is there is no real-time monitoring in any one of these. But when you go on online, you have search engine optimizations where you can actually decide by learning from your competition or your own experience, what are the words, what your potential customer is typing when he wants to look for a product or a service. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Google, you can use messengers, WhatsApp, text messaging services to actually be in connect with your audience and your clients and be in touch with them in real time. So social media actually is a parallel universe. It is a universe. It may be a virtual universe, but it is a universe out there. Now, if we are not able to capture this in today's world, we are at a loss. Now, social media, as I said, is it an addiction? Well, yes. A lot of youngsters the parents may think that social media is an addiction. It is an entertainment? Yes. Is it a marketing supermall? Yes. Is it an information gateway? Yes. I would say it is all of the above. But best it works is when you use it as a tool for yourself. Like any good tool is as good as the user who's using the instrument. Any good surgical machine, any good surgical instrument is as good as the surgeon using it. So the social media platform is as good as the person behind the social media, person behind the content writing, person behind the strategy, person behind the search engine optimization. So that is a very, very important tool. Now, results will actually depend on how the social media is rolled out to the consumer, how it is pitched. It will keep evolving with time. You cannot be stuck in one strategy, one content, one idea on social media. You have to be going very fast, because the today's generation and the people who are going on social media have so many options available to them, and if you cannot retain their attention span, you do not interest them, you are not speaking which makes them interested, which is not keeping them hooked to your platform, they will move on. The best part, as I said, about a social media is that we can adapt, learn, adopt from time to time in real time according to what our consumers want. So there are some new insights which I came across from world leaders in social media marketing. Now this one is very, very interesting. In the world of internet customer service, it's important to remember your competitor is only one mouse click away. We should remember this, that all our competition, if it's doing a good job of their own competition, marketing, strategy and content, they are just one click away. So you have to be on your feet always, 24/7, your team. Another famous quote by Kim Walsh is, the modern marketer is an experimenter, a lover of data, a content creator, and of course, a justifier of return of investment. Each penny or 1 rupee spent in your social media marketing should have a calculated, measurable result which tells you how much of return of investment on that particular content, platform, oblique marketing campaign which you got back. A good marketing always makes the company look smart, for sure, but a great marketing makes the customer feel smart. So all your social media campaigns have to be intended to make the customer feel smart, or realize that he's smarter after having been in coming touch with your social media campaign. So that should be the intent. Now, why online platforms are a must? Now let us see. Approximately, according to the 2018 survey, 2.62 billion people are constantly on online platform, and this is actually going to touch 3.1 billion people. That is the reach of social media. And in today's generation and time, nobody's got the time for mobility, especially in these COVID times. People are not ready to go out of the house to check out on something or get some information. So our product has to be available one click away for the patient. The social media campaign should give me a competitive edge to me. It should create a situation or an idea into my audience or my patient's mind that this is a place he will visit if he ever visits one. Now, any competition who has more likes, engagements and shares and a higher review rating is more likely to get a visit, oblique a query or an engagement from a patient than a person who's got lower reviews and lower likes. And of course, these platforms are far, far much cheaper than the above the line and BTL activities. Now, what are the objectives which we should have in our social media content? First of all, you could dabble between creating an awareness about a product, creating an interest in one of your techniques, technologies or product you're offering. And of course, you have to have your brand promotion very subtle way riding onto above two. Generation of leads, queries, questions to your platform or to your organization, leading to conversions, which means these leads which are generated should be converted to potential or active real-time conversions of patients and then lead to footfall into your clinic. What would be an ideal value pyramid for a social media campaign? Let's look at the social media campaign for getting rid of glasses. Now, first of all, the social media campaign has to create awareness and interest into the platform. It should lead to the potential customer calling up, generating a lead, booking an appointment. It should then lead to a LASIK checkup and then leading to the surgery. Now, this would be a value pyramid where an ROI of any social media campaign can be calculated. How much of money was spent on it? How much of brand oblique product awareness we ended up creating? How many leads did it generate? Did we book an appointment? Did it lead to a footfall? And how many footfalls did lead to a complete conversion to the product? That is how a value pyramid of any social media campaign has to be calculated. Now, another very, very interesting quote I found from one of the very famous social media marketers is, people would want to do business with you because you help them get what they want. Nobody will do business with you if it is only helping to get you what you want, which means all social media campaigns have to be direction tuned to my client's needs and desires. My media campaign has to be according to what my patient, my customer wants. So the game is new here. In my earlier campaigns, I needed people to know about me and myself, and this would probably achieve the purpose. But in this new game, I first need to know my people. I need to know my potential audience. I need to know what are the people who are looking out for me. And once I know that, then I can use that to my advantage with social media marketing by listening to them, tracking them, auditing their responses, seeing their engagements, fine-tuning my protocol, my content, and my strategy, and then roll out my social media marketing campaign. So the new game is, I need to know my customer before the customer would know me. So once we understand this paradigm shift in the marketing, we are ready to roll out. Now, how do we do the goal setting and outcomes? No goal is useful without a specific parameter which I define for that goal. Now, suppose my goal for any social media campaign is to generate leads or phone calls. My goal will only be specific by not rolling out that platform, but to actually measure that after that campaign or strategy, how many leads did I generate? Now, what is the objective of my strategy? Now, that is the second point. The second point would be, what would be my marketing objective? If my marketing objective is from getting from point A to point B, means from informing and creating an interest into the patient and then leading to a query, then my marketing objective will be defined by goal outcome by seeing, after rolling out a particular platform, on a platform about awareness, how many engagements I got online. How many people shared it with other people? How many people further engaged with me and asked questions? How many people called up my call centers to get information about the product or know more about it? So all the objectives are defined in a smart manner, which means all my social media marketing methodologies have to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and the most important, time bound. All social media campaigns should have a timeline to it, that in this much time, these are the goals I want to achieve, and they should have SMRs, specific measurable results. They have to be timed and mapped, and if they are rolling out fine, it is a good idea to continue on that particular lead, content, or strategy, and if they are not getting the results, you should change your strategy. Now, another important thing is to identify my ideal customers. For that, I need to know my real relevant audience's age, occupation, income, interest, what are the problems they would face, how would they want to contact, how they would want to be contacted to, their likes, their dislikes. Once you have a complete information on that, you are ready to roll out the social media campaign. Now, this is how to strategize your social media campaign. First of all is, have clear-cut goals, as I discussed in the previous slide. With clear-cut goals with defined timelines, it should be the first thing that you do or write on your paper scrapbook. Number two is, now to achieve those goals, what are the strategies which you should be employing to reach those goals? So example, suppose my game or goal would be, I want to create awareness about availability of femto-LASIK. Now the clear-cut goal would be, I want to educate and inform people about femto-LASIK, its advantages, and its availability with me. Now what would be the strategy? Now I would apply, what would be the strategies I would employ to achieve this goal? Number three would be market analysis. Now, analysis of market about the product I'm going to be talking about, and what is my competition or my fellow colleagues doing to market, create awareness, interest about the same product in the market. I need to have a complete analysis before I roll out my strategy. Once I have that, number one, number two, and number three in my hand, now is the time I sit on the content planning. In content planning, I plan the content. The content should be lucid, crisp, visible, impactful, and should create interest in my reader. Once I've done that, then I need to budget my complete rollout plan, which means setting clear-cut budgets. How much of money am I going to spend on promotion of awareness? How much of money I'm going to spend on marketing, on emails, SMSs, texting, WhatsApp messaging? How much of money I'm going to spend on call centers, calling of these patients? How much of money I'm going to be spending on pay-per-click or pop-ups on relevant websites? This is how the budgeting would be done. And the most important part of the whole strategy would be key performance index overview. Once the whole strategy is done, it has been rolled out, budgeted and implemented. We should have a team who does a review of complete performance index, which will help me to redefine my strategy, improve it, and re-strategize. So setting goals, the smartest method would be, our goals should be specific, measurable goals. We should not set goals which are unachievable. They should be achievable goals. Let us say, I want to say, in my city or town, I want to create queries with 5,000 people sending me queries, engagements, questions about femtolasic. Now that is an achievable goal. They should be realistic. As I said, they should be all time bound. They should be ethical. We should not be talking about unethical things or magical cures. The message going across about me should be subtle. No media campaign which is overtly loud or boisterous saying me will land properly with my audience. And the last part is truth. Whatever you're speaking, it has to commensurate with what the patient would experience once he does have a footfall into your organization. So whatever you've spoken, if it is true and it can be experienced, now is the time when this patient goes back to his home or to his own social platform or his social networking sites. He starts promoting you because everything you have spoken has been measurable, achievable, true, and experienced by this patient. Now, how to do goal strategy? First of all, we identify the business goals, setting the marketing objectives, identifying the real customers. I'm just reviewing the all earlier concepts which I did talk about. Choosing the channel and tactics. Now, this is also very important. We should be choosing the right channel for the right messaging and the right tactics. Now, suppose I am talking about cataract. It is no use for me to have channels which are often visited by youngsters. It would be a good idea to choose channels which are health related, Ayurvedic channels, yoga channels, where we see more of elderly and middle-aged people visiting, channels about physiotherapy, YouTube channels talking about rehabilitation, YouTube channels talking about arthritis. Now that would be my target if I'm targeting cataract. This will help me decide my content strategy. My content strategy has to be crisp, very, very visible, attractive, informative, and interesting. And then, as I said, allocation of budget. And the most important is assigning of roles of who will do what. No single person can do all these things together. You need to build teams. One team may just be good at making business goals. The other team will do performance index mapping. One team can do your analysis for different websites. There could be a team helping you to write the content. But as you move along, you will realize the key strengths of each person in your team, and you could reassign all these, but never make the mistake of doing all these together or having one person to do all these things. So what are the goals to identify the tools of social media marketing? You could use Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Telegram. You could use Google AdWords. Now, this is a complete spectrum, but you could also use a lot of other platforms which are available, which will help you market. Also, knowing my own pitch and the top social networking sites and what are the target audience I'm attacking. Now, let us see for the effect of social media. Now, this is an April 2020 market research based on India. Facebook probably has 86.4% share in viewers' engagement with the social media. YouTube, for relevant products and feedback loop mechanism, it is 3.26, Instagram is 4.84, and the lowest probably is LinkedIn. Once you have this data with you, you will decide that if you're looking for a feedback loop mechanism, which would be a good idea, good platform for you to start with. Now, if your content is not optimized, it is going to be a waste. So content optimization according to the platform which we are going to use is very, very important. So search engine optimization without having a content without search engine optimization is also a waste of time and money. So we should have a good content. We should have a good trained person doing search engine optimization. In my organization, I would probably sit at times with my marketing, online marketing guys, my IT guys, discuss the search engine optimization, understand the patient's mind, my customer's mind, discuss it with them, and then look at what is the other competition doing, what are the tools other competition is using to create social media awareness and search engine optimization. A very, very important thing is content alone never wins, but an optimized content wins. What does this mean? Which means your content, first of all, has to be optimized for readability. Nobody has got long time now to read large articles, large paragraphs. So it should be readable, short space, and it should be able to grab the eyeball of your client. Because today's generation and today's people do not have more time to read. It is a reduced attention span. The content should be attractive with good images, good color scheme, good context, content, and it should lure the person. The content should be crisp to point. Keywords would be very, very important to drive home the points like a bullet. Now, a classical example of a bad content optimization is on your right. While I was talking, did you notice that the content color is mismatched? So this word of SM byte, social media byte for content, and even my logo here probably was lost to you. This is another classical example of a badly optimized content display. So these things are very important. Now, what are the tones which are we going to use in our content? Always avoid a very, very hard sales pitch. Avoid comparing yourself with competition and showing them down. Avoid negative pitch by criticizing other people. It is more, the content should be more about reaching to what the actual consumer wants rather than what you want to tell him. The story should be weaved into what the consumer wants. What we want to tell him should be interwoven in a very subtle manner to what he actually wants. We should be more relying on success stories. And of course, nothing works like how many 5 stars do you have in your pitch. As I said, it's a good idea to have a dedicated content writing team, promotion and boosting team, a team to engage with the patients, to reply their queries. Everybody loves a prompt reply. If you actually go to our Google ratings, you will realize our content, our query rating is replied within 2 hours. How many queries resulted to footfalls? Who is mapping them? Who is calling them? Who is engaging them? Who is analyzing data of your engagement sharing? Is anybody analyzing the data of your competition? Is anybody analyzing the keyword optimization, search engine optimization of your competition? How is your competition getting footfalls onto their portals? There should be somebody doing that analytics. Answering queries is one of the biggest method of getting viewership retainership. Troubleshooting and monitoring. Is your website down? Is your portal down? Are your questions being answered by the right method in a right, dedicated, ethical manner? Always remember that the information and content is more important than the product and the marketer. The information and content is more important than me or the product. So if my information is right, crisp and important, and the content is crisp and lucid, I have done the job. Now, there could be different methodologies. You could have informative campaigns about education, about people, about surgery. Mind you, using the local language always has an advantage. And understanding what are the normal queries which a patient has, answering them in one point, simple publication would make a lot of sense. Hiring pre-launches, sharing festivals, wishing festivals to patients and your clients, sharing your achievements. All these are methodologies to be in touch with your potential clients. Not every time you need to talk about what I am doing. A lot of times it's just wishing them good. Testimonials, good idea. Live sessions, suppose there are some book launches, there are some awareness campaigns, there are Zoom classes which you are holding on patient awareness campaigns, social activities campaigns to be shared. Now this creates an interest and engagement, and there should be always something changing, something updated on your portal, something keeping the people coming back for more. If you keep the similar content, similar activity, people will lose interest and move on. Something like you could have these I'll just play this video. Like during this COVID times, we had this media campaign that, we started online consults. So we published these videos and telling people that yes, we are online. Telling them, wishing them well to take care during COVID. Talking about my team, not just machines or equipment or lenses. Talking about people in my organizations. Talking about doctors, happy, smiling doctors. This makes a lot of difference to your potential client, that here is an organization which is full of positive people, happy people. The content and context should always match with my organization vision and mission. I cannot be talking about something what I do not believe in or what something that I'm not doing in. This will create a disconnect once the lead is generated and the patient has a footfall. Because one bad media notification will create far more damage than a person who's actually not visited your organization. Suppose you created a interest or a myth about a particular product or an activity, and the patient visits your organization and finds it does not commensurate or is not true with what you marketed. It is going to have a backlash effect. Second, the content sharing rollout plan. You cannot bombard all the products in one go. You should have a strategy. When are you going to publish on Facebook? Are you going to follow it up with Twitter, LinkedIn? But then YouTube is going to follow up later. How many days after that you're going to roll out some YouTube protocols? How many days you gap you're going to be starting on Instagram? Are you going to repeat a similar message or a similar content Will you repeat it on Google? Will you repeat it on Facebook again? Are the contents going to be linked? Is there a story which you're trying to build? Is there a continuity in my sharing content plan? There should be a rollout plan, a very well marked rollout plan. You cannot bombard all the things in one go and lose out all your money in one go. Market analysis, analyzing the market competition is very, very important. I need to know what is my competition doing. Where are they going wrong? I do not need to make the same mistakes. What is their messaging which they are getting, which is getting them negative reviews or negative comments? I need to refrain from that. What are the keywords which they have used which is getting them traffic on their portal? I need to see, I need to analyze their search engine optimization. I need to do their keyword analysis. Analyzing each respective social media platform according to their content will help me modify and be one step forward in my competition. And as I said, analyzing the competition and its content and traffic. What are the keywords are they using? Are they using paid tools? What are the likes and hits which their organic search engines are generating? What is their Google ranking? What is the search engine optimization? Are they actually using the SEM or Rush platforms or Ahref platforms to create this kind? So we can use all these platforms to get more information about them. Target identification for LASIK. Now, idea would be to use Lenskart, Frames, Contact Lenses, Shadi.com. Now, you should use these portals to market product according to the relevance. Are these portals which I'm using, are they paid for? Can I avail some non-paid for platforms to save money? Now, there are a lot of paid tools which actually do search engine optimization analysis for us. You can do self-analysis by using these tools if you are a little bit tech savvy. We need to study competition, innovate on the go, and keep improvising. It's a good idea to have chatbots. Again, key XY, you rank how many eye centers are getting hits on Facebook, Twitter, based on that, seeing what is the content they're talking about. If it's getting them engagement, you can follow the same platform. Target audience identification is very, very important. Identifying the target audience, identifying their age, identifying their likes, dislike. It is a good idea to have more engagement than just likes, which means just a simple like is not good. But if you have an engagement, which means the person has shared your post, the person has asked a query, the person is discussing your post in some other platform, is what is far more important than a simple like. Now, another important thing would be how many 5-star ratings your organization has on an independent organic platform. Now, for example, this center is got 4.9 ratings in actual organic 3,448, 4.8 rating in 27,419. Now, these things matter to your audience. 4.9 rating by 2,552 real-time ratings, 3,683 4.8 ratings. Now, these ratings will get far more footfall than simple reviews and videos of patients saying that this is a good center. Because everybody knows that Google ratings are organic, they are linked to the IP address, and they cannot be fudged. So having person actively looking forward to these, monitoring them. If your rating starts going down, somebody analyzing them, calling up patients, asking them what was the problem, how can the problem be rectified, and once the problem is rectified, asking the patient to recorrect or re-improve the rating and give a better rating than before, will make sure that these ratings stay above 4.6 and 4.7. Now, mapping audience demographics. Now, this is a huge science. Actually, this talk should be for more than an hour, but I'm trying to club it around 30-35 minutes. You can use all these mapping demographics. It's a different science by itself, seeing what are the age group, what are the interest, what all places is this person visiting, what are the likes he does, which are the portals he uses. Retargeting would be when you are attacking. Remarketing and retargeting are different. Now, remarketing would be that you are remarketing yourself to the current patient. You have already had this patient in your database. The goal is to sell an additional service which you have in your platform. Whereas the retargeting would be that it is not a current patient. He has maybe just visited your website but never scheduled an appointment, never generated a query. The goal would be to get them back into my fold and set up a consultation. Create a repeat call, eyeball grabbing. Once a strategy and a content has worked, do not keep repeating the similar photocopy of the same strategy. Keep working around the central soul of that strategy. Keep changing the content. Keep improving the interest value. Keep improving the attention span of this patient, and making sure that the content which is coming there is very, very important and relevant. We could use pay-per-click models in Facebook, Google Ads, Instagram, Twitter. How to do more engagements. Now, as I said, engagement is far more better than the views. It is more attractive and useful content. More reviews and more likes will give you more traffic on your portal. Now, social media marketing is far more cheaper than the above line marketing. It gives you a real-time feedback. You can analyze the feedback. You can keep modifying your strategy, content, and rollout plan according to the feedback you get. And you can help in recruitment and image building of your organization. So when should you start? In case you've not started now, you've already missed the bus. But it is never too late to start. So I would say that even if you start today, it would take another 45 to 60 days before you start coming into the system, because an average search engine would take anything between 30 to 45 days to start recognizing your presence. Now, heavy traffic and keywords can come in later, but at least start your presence in the virtual world. Only then you can actually start hitting the target. Pitfalls, what are the things which you should not do? Never spread yourself thin across all the platforms, burn all the money you have in one go before you realize what are your strong points, where is your content strong, where is your content weak, where is your strategy strong, where is your strategy weak. So if you finished all the budget in one go, you're spreading yourself thin. Now, more and more focus on the product of yourself, and talking about myself would be a wrong thing to do. It is a good idea to focus more on my audience. What does he want? What does he require? What are his interests? What are his queries? Are they being answered in time? Am I giving him relevant scientific information? Giving wrong information will give a bad image. Now, MCI guidelines, not using your customers for social media proof, not using enough visuals also is a bad thing. Using good photograph, good images, good visuals is a good idea. Not using analytics, not differentiating your style and tone by other channels. If you keep doing what all your competition is doing, you'll be lost. You need to improvise on the go every time, every moment. Social media in the end is a double-edged sword. If my queries are not answered, my client will get informed and use that information to be diverted to my competition. If I'm overexposing myself repeatedly in social media, can also start getting me negative reviews, because somewhere or sometime you will have a negative or an upset patient or a client who start using your overexposure to get exposure for himself. Managing the negative onslaught. There are a lot of paid online blackmailing and tarnishing services available, so you need to watch out. You need to have services which are more important, looking at people who are upset, addressing their issues, addressing their question answers. So social media ransom is a reality now. Your competitor also will have proxy reviews. We ourselves have had one of the top competitions in the country using proxy servers, proxy reviews to generate negative reviews about us. And once we started doing forensics about that, we tracked them, we found that who are these people doing that. So beware. A lot of times your competitors could also be doing proxy negative reviews for you to tarnish your image and reduce your rating. So the carry-home message would be that the social media marketing is a very, very important tool that all hospitals have to have and explore it. The post should be relevant for patient and organization, and they should have a data analysis, a timeline attached to them, and a key performance index to map the end results and the goal achievement. It is very, very cheaper. It can have a very, very high reach, but it can also have a deleterious effect on our business if it is not done properly. It spreads very, very fast, and one negative review can get a very, very bad review. So calendar launch, as I said, is very, very important. Budgeting, how to budget, how much of amount of money I'm going to put in what platform is very important, and key performance index review, reviewing all my strategies, content time to time, and seeing which is the one which is getting more reviews, which is the one which is getting more attachments. And how to analyze my key performance index would be how many reaches and engagements I've got, how much of data I've collected of emails and phone numbers after a particular strategy. Then analyze the demographics. Where are these patients staying? Are they within my reach? Am I able to convert it to a footfall? Will it actually convert to a conversion, value added conversion? And how would it land once the patient lands into my clinic? How is my reception and doctors going to handle these patients and handle these online appointments? So key performance index, reviews, and thanks. And if you have any more queries, I'll be happy to answer these queries. This is a very, very interesting topic for me. So I think I did overshoot the time, but I hope it is worth the time for everybody. Thank you, Dr. Kamal Kapur, Sharpside Group of Eye Hospitals.